Good morning, Jennifer Vobis here from Clark County School District. We are getting ready for our annual bidding event. We are getting ready for about 1,460 drivers to come through and choose their route for the school year. So here I am in the bidding room. This is where 1,464 of our drivers will come through in 2 days to choose a route for the school year. And here is Amanda. She is our routing and scheduling supervisor. She is responsible for putting together all of the routes that we will have for the 24-25 school year. Amanda, tell me, how long does it take? When do we begin planning for the new school year?
Well, we start planning in January, preparing for March 1st, normally falls on a Monday, is when we start working with our gen ed routes first. We do our gen ed routes, and then that leads into our summer programs and then our SPED. And so it takes us about 6 months to get it together.
Right. And even up until the night before, are we still finalizing routes?
Yesterday, our night before.
See? The whole bidding room, this is where everybody will come through. We're setting up routes so drivers can come through and view them. It was quite a spectacular event. Here's our training room. This is where all the action happens. But we're getting ready. So we're sitting here still working on opening up for the 24-25 school year, and I decided to meet with both our routing and scheduling coordinator and our vehicle maintenance director to talk about some of the things that we have to do in order to get ready for the school year. So Michael, kind of tell us, I know Amanda kind of went through the process of you guys starting in March. What has today been like for you?
So today has been fun. We spent a lot of time over the last couple of weeks just getting everything printed, getting lots of eyes on it to make sure that we have dotted our I's and crossed our T's, and that everything is as good as possible. And so today we're bringing all the routes over here for the drivers to be able to select what they're going to be doing for the year. So it's very important for us to have a high level of detail on that, because that is what the drivers are going to drive on the very first day of school. And those are the students they're going to pick up.
I know that we were talking about, we had been projecting since last year to this year that we were going to have a 60 route growth. We were going to grow by 60 routes in our fleet, but you were able, and the team was able to only grow by 40 routes. Can you tell me some of the things that you guys did?
Definitely. So we started early in March by identifying general education stops that were being underutilized. And we took that together with the runs that were on to find space that was available on buses. We verified that verified the actual student ridership with utilizing our live look-in video system. And with that, we are able to really cut down and become more efficient in the way that we're routing general education students. That was one of the very important parts. The next one was we made sure that we had systems in place, not only to build routes for students who receive curb-to-curb transportation, but also to be able to review it and have it reviewed by multiple members of the team who might have a different way of solving efficiency issues. And by having multiple people look at it and being provided that time, I think really has been vital for us to be able to be as efficient as possible and minimize the growth that we see.
So now we know, like, we've had our routes ready, we're ready to go. We've been working on this with March. I know everybody who's watching this has been like, oh yeah, we know what you have to do to get ready for the regular school year. That's how I determine, are we working on ESY or are we working on the regular school year? But Brendan, our fleet, as everybody is pretty well aware, that we have a pretty large fleet of 1,936 buses. Sometimes we lose a bus here and there and gain buses. We've worked on coordinating through the summer, having people work on the body fluid kits and the fire extinguishers, and making sure buses are exercised during the summer, and making sure that all of our inspections are up to date and repairs are up to date. But I think it's important that how you guys work together. I don't think that's kind of the behind the scenes things that people really don't see about us, even in our own district, is we have almost around 800 special education routes. This year, or for the 24-25 school year, we have we anticipate 801 special education routes. With that comes wheelchairs and safety vests and all kinds of equipment. Brandon, how do you and Michael work together to make sure that those buses are ready and configured appropriately?
Well, I think to begin with, similarly with Mike and his planning, is after the 9-month school year is done, we start working to play catch up and tie up any loose ends from any type of services, ordering, long-term maintenance, things like that. Working with our dealership network for our bus orders to see if those are going to be arriving on time and be prepared for the new school year. Same thing with the vendors. We have numerous vendors of equipment that has to be upfitted into the vehicle. Just trying to coordinate all of that, as well as play catch up, since the fleet is pretty stagnant at that point. Get our services and preventive maintenances out of the way. And then as he gets to a point where he's forming up some hard numbers for me, we're talking back and forth to make sure that we have enough vehicles for our active ridership, as well as a required number of spares in case we have any contingencies that we have to weather.
And it's not just only that too, it's also we have to make sure that Michael's communicating with vehicle maintenance, like how many routes are coming out of each yard, so that we make sure that we have enough special ed buses and enough gen ed buses at each yard to cover what it is. So it really, you guys really do work closely together.
And yard capacity was an issue this year too, as the majority of our growth was happening in certain areas of the valley. We couldn't put all that growth in one yard because there's not physically enough space for all of those vehicles. And so that discussion back and forth between vehicle maintenance, routing, and scheduling kind of decides where a route is actually going to originate from, which depot.
So, I'm always, as you know, a big proponent of aggregation of marginal gains. And as we look back at some of our challenges for 23-24, moving forward into 24-25, are there things that you're looking forward to changing and improving on and kind of getting better?
In terms of routing, absolutely. I'm looking forward to using some of the tools that we use to get ready for the school year throughout the school year to see how that's going to help us in providing more timely service to students by being more on top of efficient routing and also efficient changes, getting those communicated out in a faster way. I think the system that we developed that worked for the regular school year, we should be able to maintain throughout the school year, which is going to help with service levels.
Brandon?
I think for vehicle maintenance, it's just a matter of trimming or identifying efficiencies within the system so we can make sure that we have an efficient and cost-effective fleet, as well as for us seeing through the onboarding of electric vehicles is going to be one of our sticking points this year, and how they're going to integrate into the fleet and into the routing and overall service of the students.
That's actually a great point. Next year we anticipate Clark County is going to get a full fleet of electric buses, about 25. Right now we currently only have 4 in our fleet, and we're going to get 25, which really does change the routing aspect for us. Some of the things that we've talked about too have been like how far, what is the range, and what yard. We have 5 yards in Clark County, so what yard or depot can we put them at? There are some parameters on what students they can service. Looking out in the future, what do you see as some both challenges and advantages of electric vehicles?
So the challenges are definitely going to be in the routing aspect of trying to keep them within a certain amount of mileage, as well as keeping them in whatever certain student population our funding was written to support, so that we're providing the service that we say that we're going to provide. What's exciting about the electric buses, though, is the benefit of them is that in those communities, electric buses, I believe, are going to be a lot less disruptive. They are obviously lower emission, but they're also a lot lower volume level. So I see that as an added benefit to the communities that they're going to be routed in.
Definitely. I think that You know, this is a really interesting time, and we've all had this conversation too, a really interesting time in pupil transportation, as this is such electric vehicle and clean energy is in its such infancy stages that we're all just learning as we go along. So hopefully with Clark County we can continue to grow. We've done a great job for as big as we are to be really adaptive in moving forward with new initiatives. Thank you. Good morning. It is 6 o'clock in the morning here in Clark County School District, and we are getting ready for our annual bidding day. It smells like bidding, everybody, and I'm just giving you an idea of what we have to go through for bidding and how we are going to handle this. We are currently staging drivers and getting ready for the big day. Here is where we start calling drivers in seniority.
Victor Neal.
And of course,
Jackson.
in true Las Vegas fashion, it is monsoon season, so we're expecting, as always, a nice thunderstorm to come through sometime midday. Otherwise, if it didn't, it wouldn't be bidding. There is our Director of Compliance and Safety, Brian Adams, our Director of Compliance and Safety. Brian,
love you, gonna miss you.
give us an idea of what they do here in the tent.
So this is where we go over our credential checks. We line them up, we go over all the policy procedures, and then we line them, bring them in here, and they select their routes.
All right. Once they come in, they've staged, they come in through seniority order. Here's the crew.
Morning.
Good morning. They come in and they check in right here. And then these are all our routes. Look at that. And you can tell who's who because each yard wears their own specific color. This is Wallace. This is the yard to be at. Woohoo! They select their route. They only have 3 minutes to select their route. And they come here and check out. Say hi here at our checkout. Come back out the hallway. And there's Norma. Say hi to STN. Hi, STN. All right. There's the best field supervisor Clark County School District has to offer. There's Brandon. It's a team effort here, guys. They come in through our training room to pick up their case for their tablet. And here's our DIs. Everybody, Clark County School District, say hi to everybody at STN.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning. They come pick up their uniform. They come out. They do a step and repeat with the selfie. And they see Jessica and Gabe to say goodbye. And out the door they go. Marcelo.
Yes, ma'am.
As the transportation coordinator over special education, we transport approximately 125,000 students here in Clark County. 10,000 of those students are our special ed students. Tell me what you have to do to get prepared to transport curb to curb special needs students.
Well, for one, we got to make sure our team is ready to be able to sit on the IEPs that we're invited to. We want to make sure that we are following through with the students' present levels and making sure the accommodations written in the IEP are correct according to the present levels. We want to make sure we can, any student who, let's say, is mainstreaming from a quote-unquote special education bus to a general education bus receives the maybe corner stop that student may be eligible for and prep them beyond high school years, so that way we can get them situated in, let's say, public transportation, be able to easily acclimate to that type of bus, set up a bus that's on a corner, and be able to route as we need to.
Thank you, Marcelo. I appreciate it. Here we go. You can see all the bus drivers picking up their bags and uniforms. And here we have Amber Rideout, our Director of Operations. Hi. Amber, tell us what you're excited about for the coming school year.
Oh, I'm excited that we're going to be able to do what we do best, we'll be able to get kids to and from. We've got a full staff. We've got excited team members. So I'm excited that they're excited because that means they're going to give that energy to our students and they need it.
Got a mini school bus.
Awesome. I love that. We start the school year. Our drivers coming through. Talking about the routes, looking for their bids. Dorothy is our coordinator over field trip and events. Dorothy, what are you looking forward to for this next school year?
I'm looking forward to everybody showing up and we getting everything bid out and we have a beautiful year.
All our field trips and athletic events are covered.
That too.
That's right.
That too.
So here we have Utah and Marie who are at our Northwest yard. How many routes do you guys have left to be bid on?
We have 40 gen ed and 1 special ed.
Only 1 special ed left. Okay, more importantly, the question is, do you think that Wallace is going to be the first to clear the table this year?
Yes, we do.
Yes.
Unequivocally.
Yes.
All right.
Absolutely.
Okay.
We're doing good this year.
Yes, we
You're
are.
hustling?
Yes, we are hustling.
Here we have our team from Arville. How many routes do you guys have on the table?
We have 18 and 23 gen ed.
All right. Wallace has 59 and Northwest has 41. Do you guys think you're going to clear the table?
Wait. Dun, 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 dun. Ba, ba, ba. Da, 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 da. Ba, 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 da, ba. 18!
All right, here we have the Cheyenne team. Cheyenne team, how many routes do you guys have left on the table?
19 gen.
19 on gen and 25 on special ed. And less than everybody else.
So we anticipate being clear in about half hour.
Okay, so the question is, are you going to be the first to clear?
Yes. Oh yeah.
This is our driver check-in. They're coming in, checking in, tell them their seniority number.
Right here, sir.
Here we have the Russell Roadrunners out of our Russell yard. How many routes do you guys have on the table?
50 at this time.
50. Are you going to be the first table to clear?
Yes. We will.
How do you say go, Russell?
Yeah, let's get this. Yes, let's
Okay.
get this.
So here come our new driver trainees that have been trained over the summer. Here they come.
This is a magnet. So you have the Edgar, Harney, and the Cunningham. That's not a bad one. And this one right here, you're getting off. It was 1 you're getting off before 4. And you go to the far right corner and check out. Next week we're gonna be there for you. Okay.
All right, here we are sitting with Marcelo. Cheyenne Yard only has 4 more bids left. This means never in the history of CCSD has Cheyenne ever cleared a table. And it's because of this man here. 4 more rounds. So how do you
One
feel?
more and we're clear. I feel great. This is the second year that my yard's gone first.
And for the first time, we have, for the longest time, we only have about 20 vacancies, but no yard had cleared. I know this is my last day, and I'm not going to get emotional. But you guys, thank you for everything you've done. This is the best way to go out.
Yeah.
You guys rock. You're the best team. I want you to know when I stepped into this position in 2021, we left bidding with a 256 driver vacancy. And today we walked away with 20.